Hey everybody, this is Lynn, and I'm coming to you live today from my basement. And I have Ava here, my noisy child, who has music going in the background. So it is what it is. She's home from school all week, so we're here together playing. A couple of you have asked me to do a video on how I paint my flowers and so forth, and I wanted to try to do that for you today. Although I must say that I'm not the best at this. There are so many people that are so much better than me, and you know, there's lots of videos out there, but I'll just do mine, and you know, you can take from it what you want to take from it. I know Sharon White put a few out the other day, and to me, she's just the master at painting, but or watercoloring. So here we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make something similar to this today. I think I'm going to change up the colors a little bit because I want to use some darker colors so you can see it a little bit better than these more pastel colors. I was going to do this one, but I feel like the flowers are just too small for you to really get an idea for what I do, so we're not going to do that one. And this is one that I had done, and I mixed colors in this one, just starting with really light colors and going to darker colors. But I don't know that I'll have that much of an opportunity to do that on these lilies, but we'll see. And let's get started. So what I use are my Zig markers. I just put a can of them here, just some of the colors that I thought I would want to grab from because they're easier to find this way. I keep a glass of water here and a aqua painter. I don't use this necessarily the way it says to use it when I'm doing this because sometimes I want more water than I'm willing to squeeze out. So I keep my water handy and I just dip it in that to get water on it. That's the reason I do it, is because I just like that brush. It's kind of stiff. It's stiffer to me than a paintbrush would be. So that's why I do it. So what I typically do is like I said, I'm going to try to go with a little bit brighter colors here. What I typically do is I lay down just a little bit of water on the flower. It doesn't have to be perfect, and just put a little bit of water down so that I have something for it to move with. So I'm going to start on this flower right here. And I'm just getting a little bit of water down. If you put too much water and you're using your Zig markers, they won't work as good. The water just saturates the point on it, and it takes a while for it to get ink back down or color back down into it. But what I typically do, I am not fancy about this. I just lay down some color, and I generally start on my flowers in the center, and I get lighter from there. So I'll do something like that, and then I'll get my water and I'll start moving. Somebody said, how do you make them so soft and flowy? Well, it's because I use a lot of water. I will go back and add more color, but to start with, I just move the water, move the color with the water. And that's why I keep my cup right here handy, because I want to move it a lot. And I don't go for perfection. I'll leave spots open. I don't go to color it all in exactly right. But you can see that I'm having to use a good bit of water to really move the color around. And that's what I do. So we're going to just, sometimes if you let it sit too long, it might need more water to move that color around so you don't get like a big blob there. Okay. So then I'll take that same marker again, or I might pick up a different color, but for this one I'm going to come back in and I'm going to add more color into the center. Some people want their centers lighter, and some people want their centers darker. I just kind of like mine a little darker, and I like to differentiate between the various petals by having some dark and light spots so that you can tell where one petal is and where another one is. Because where you really want to do that, if that makes any sense, where you really want to do that is on, like if you embossed it in white or clear and did that. I like that look. that would be a look similar to this one. Not that it's embossed, but it's a no-line painting. I like that look, but for the purpose of the video today, I didn't want to do that because I wanted you to see where the lines were, okay? Let's see, I think that's all the leaves on that one. So I would set that one aside, and I would just move on to another color. And again, I would go back through the same start out that I did with putting water on each of the petals. I have to sometimes look on these before they get painted to see what petal goes with what. Again, I'm not putting a lot of water on, and this time I'm going to go with a deep violet. These might not be the colors I would really choose for Easter, but as I said, I think you'll be able to see it better. I'm just going to go in and lightly color in here. I'm going to go back with a marker over that later and add some green or something to it for the stamen. And again, just more water, so I'm going to come from this end. Okay. Now, Sharon White is probably just cringing if she's watching this video because this is not how she paints. She's so good. She's, you know, I just don't. I make a lot of cards. I send a lot of cards. I like to send cards to people who, you know, don't ever get mail, so they don't care that much. They think they're all great. So, you know, it's just not that. I don't know. It's just not that. It's not that particular. But Sharon has the most beautiful cards as far as painting goes, and so you could learn a lot from her if you'll watch her video. So this is just me. Y'all asked for it, so this is what you get. Ain't that right, Ava? Did y'all hear that? Ain't that right? That's right, she says. Okay, so there's a purple one done. So let's see. I'm going to go back and probably add some more to these, but I just want to start with this. So I'm going to go in. This is a pink color. It's not the same as this one. This one's like a magenta. Let's see, that color was, it says purple, but it's more like a magenta. This one is dark pink. So it's going to end up looking a lot like it. I forgot to put water down. But it's not exactly the same. So since I forgot to put water down, I'll go do that now. And that one was still a little wet, so I'm going to just go in here and do this. Make sure y'all are still in the frame here. Move your paper with you to make it easier for you, so. And see, I don't want to take that much dark to the tip with me, so I'm going to go back and put some water on it and lighten it a little bit. I think this one goes with it. Cleaning out the brush again a little bit just to lighten it. And then we're going to come into this one that's still pretty wet. Some of my zigs are, I mean, I've had them for several years, and I love them. It is my favorite way to watercolor. It is my watercolor of choice. I have a lot of options. I have a lot of different kind of watercolor paints, the kind that are on the little hard things, whatever. I have a lot of those, but I just prefer my zigs. I just really love the zigs, so it's my favorite. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with a lighter purple down here on this flower, and you can see that there's still a little bit of pink in my the end of my brush. That's okay. It's not gonna matter that much, and it's okay to have multiple kind of colors in there. So, because I'll probably go back on some of these and put a little other little colors in with them, as I did on that one that I showed you a few minutes ago that I said I used various colors on. Okay, I'm trying to do this as fast as I can so that the video doesn't last too long. And feel free to speed it up, do whatever you want to do. Skip it, don't watch it, I don't care. So, okay. So I'm just going with a lighter one here because I've got 3 dark ones right in the middle. I hope that you can see what I'm doing here. It's really basic. Anybody can do this. If I can do this, anybody can do this. Okay, and let's see. There's another purple one that I like. Let's see. Let's see. That color was light violet, and this color is lilac, and this color is, oh, I have 2 lilacs. I must have mixed up 2. I have 2 boxes of zigs. One is really old. So let's see if this one's going to work. It might be out of the old, really old box. Uh-oh, a little purple there. That's okay. You don't stress over it, that's for sure.
Is good tomorrow?
Oh, Ava wants to go to school tomorrow, but she's on vacation all week. My other daughter is not, so she's not happy about that.
Is good tomorrow?
No, Ava, you got to quit talking. So let me tell you all about Ava. I say for her to quit talking, but I love to hear her talk because when we brought her home from China, while I'm painting this and y'all are watching, when I brought Ava home from China, I didn't know she'd ever talk. I didn't know she could hear. I had to go get hearing tests done on her and stuff like that. And she can hear. She's visually impaired, but she can see things. She can find a piece of tape on the floor if I want her to, but she does not process what she sees. So she does not watch TV or anything. She listens to music. TV would just overwhelm her because it's just too much action. So, because she was blind for the first almost 3 years of her life with bilateral cataracts. So that's a little bit about Miss Ava Grace. The funny thing about Ava is, though, she exhausted me when we first brought her home from China, but now she makes me laugh all the time. She's really, really funny. So I appreciate funny. Okay, I'm going to go back in now down here because I'm running out of purple colors. I'm going to go back down here on this partial one and just put in a darker purple like this one. I might change it up by adding some other color to it just to make it look a little different. So going back to Ava, so I tell her not to talk right now, but really and truly, I want her to talk. So the first thing she ever said was at a Zaxby's, she said, which about blew us all away. She said, "More ketchup, please." We didn't even know she could talk, and she asked for more ketchup. So we don't go to Zaxby's much here anymore because it's not really a nice one, but it is a special place for us because that's when we first realized the little monster child could talk. So, okay, I say that she's a monster child. Y'all know I'm joking. I love her to death. Okay, so there's another purple one. And I guess I'll do this orchid color, light violet, I call it orchid. I'll do it up here just because it's the furthest one away. And I'm just going to wet my flowers again. As I said, I don't worry about the stamen too much because I'm going to go back in with greens and yellows and get that, okay? So if you get a little bit too much water, just get a paper towel and wipe some of it off because, again, it will make your zig not produce any color because it just wets it down too much. Okay. Okay, I think this video might be getting a little bit long, and I don't want to bore y'all to tears with my life stories. So let me just do a couple of other things real quick, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to do to finish it, and I'll post the finished product in the comments. So that's pretty much it. So I can't remember who all it was that asked. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to add greens to all the leaves. And then you'll see that there are quite a few buds that need to be colored in. I'll do that. For the stamen, I will just take a yellow zig and I will color straight in on it. It just doesn't matter that much. I mean, nobody is going to critique your work and say, you didn't stay exactly in the lines. They just don't do that. People just love to get the artwork, so don't stress over it. Just put a little color in there. And then for the stems on the stamen, I just go in and do like, hope I'm in the camera, do like this, just to put a little bit of color in there. And then the buds, I'll just do them exactly the same way I did the flowers, okay? And the green, I usually use a couple of colors of green. I will use possibly a lighter and a darker olive. And I might even throw in some of this color, which is one of my favorites on here. It's called yellow green. It just kind of makes things pop a little bit. And then what I did, as you can see on this one, is I went back and I took a light blue, a very light blue zig. This one is called light blue. And I just, with water, I filled in the white areas with that. You could use a re-inker. A lot of the Stampin' Up, things have re-inkers to them, and you could just put some re-inker on it, water it down very much, and then put that color in there. I've done that before. And then at the end, what I did, as you can see, I splattered all of this with white paint. But before I did that, let me just back up. One thing that I did before that was, and I'll do it here, I'll show you on here what I did. I might dip my fingers into the water a little bit and just sprinkle it on the flowers. I would do this at the end, not really now, because I'm not finished with the painting. And then I would take a napkin and I would just do this to get up some of that color. And what you see is you have some light spots there that just look like water dripped on them, okay? So I would do that. I'd probably do that a couple times when I finish, just to make some light spots. You can see where I did it on this one, where there are some light water droplet spots. And then I splattered it all four sides. I went all the way around with white paint, and I just used this white paint watered down. And what I do, in case you want to know, is I take one of these, this is so dirty, y'all, one of these clear blocks that you stamp with, and I put a little bit on it, and then I water it down, and I take that exact same brush, and I just flick it right off the edge, and I do all four sides that way, and I put it in just an old box that is like my splatter guard. I don't do anything fancy, and that's how I splatter it with paint. Okay, if that doesn't even make sense to you, let me know, and I'll do a very quick video on that also. Okay, I hope that y'all enjoyed this and that you have a great day, and I would love to see what you come up with on it, and just share with me if you enjoyed it or not, okay? Thanks so much. Say bye, Ava.
Bye bye.